Namaste. Welcome to the beginning of another live Sangha. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm glad you could make it. I trust that you are feeling as well as you can be in this moment. And if you are feeling like there's any difficulties in your life at this time that's challenging you, remember that this too shall pass. And I hope to be there for you. May you find peace and relaxation here. May I be a humble host, and if I'm not, hold me accountable to that. Our first guests are joining now. Hello, oh no. How are you? If you want to share. Welcome, dear Hey Hey. I'd love to start by setting the intention for this space. So may this be a welcoming environment, open to everyone regardless of background, identity, orientation, belief system, ethnicity, etc. You are wonderful. I'm happy to hear that, oh no? I'm also feeling wonderful. Namaskar, dear dancing aurora borealis. Hello, dear Nanda. I very much look forward to reading your poem shortly. May we all come together as fellow students of life to uplift each other, relate in one another's experiences, and share positive sentiments. Hello, Xander. Welcome. Welcome, dear Kimmy. Thanks for the love from Northern Ireland, dear Christy. One love. Welcome, dear Raven. Hello, Moon Girl. If you want to share how you're doing, everyone, you're welcome to. It's good for me to know what kind of energies to hold space for in the world today. I am feeling very happy. I had a good walk with my sister. I walked to this property that has been used for many decades now as a garden. Thousands of different kinds of flowers and bushes and trees. It's a wonderful experience. You can see a little bit of it on my Instagram story today. I saw a wonderful bush that grew in such a symmetric pattern. And the funny thing is about that bush is that as soon as I came home, I realized that we have the same bush. My mom has planted that in front of our house in our garden. So I was like, wow, look at this foreign bush taken from somewhere in the world. I've never seen anything like it. And then I get home and it's right in front of the front door. It's literally right behind my window here. You can see the frame behind the tapestry. So I can't believe I never noticed it before. Thank you, dear Xander, for your trio of roses. What a blessing. Harihi Om Tat Sat. You are happy? I'm Princess Mom. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah. Oh, thank you, dear Christy. I love Elijah Wood. I think he's a great actor and seems like a fun person too. You've had quite a bad day. Well, I'm grateful for your honesty, dear Nanda, but you hope everyone is enjoying this moment. Well, that's very lovely of you. You are definitely allowed bad days. Oh, thank you, Daydream. Am I getting better sleep? I'm getting less of it, interestingly. I think I was getting too much sleep. I've been putting my hours back, trying to actually wake up in the morning, which is less than what I normally do, but I feel much better, actually. You saw that, oh no, my bush story. Yeah. It's amazing the things that just don't register until they do. Well said, dear Raven. Welcome, dear Enzo. You're having trouble falling asleep at the moment, dear Derek. Well, I'll try not to jump up and down and scream in case you fall asleep. I'm sure you'll get there. Thank you, Oren, for your Heart Me and Team bracelet. Radhe, Radhe. And dear Hit the Road, thank you for your rose. Hare Krishna. I'm from Canada, dear Randy. Thank you for your heart, me, Sandra. Om Ganganapataye Namah. Welcome, Jandik, and thank you for your heart, me. Om Namah Shivaya. It is almost 4:30 in the afternoon for me on Vancouver Island. Yeah, I know it's quite late for you in the UK. May you go to bed soon. You're feeling well, dear dancing Aurora Borealis. I'm grateful to have you here. And thank you for your hello from Switzerland, dear Sandra. So, on the menu today, we have a poem shared by Nanda through the Show and Tell submission form. And then we'll be doing another reading from this book, The Journey Home. That'll be Shravana, the section dedicated to listening. Hello, Yana. Hello, dear Michelle. You're in Ottawa, dear Randy. Nice to have a fellow Canadian here. I'm doing well, thank you, Mr. Noah. And then for Manana, we'll have a Q&A section. We'll have a question of the day. Well said, dear Moon Girl. Welcome, dear Ginger Bear. And then we'll have an intermission of some poetry reading by Rumi. You're so lovely, dear Oren. And we'll end with a meditation, a mantra for all flowers. Salutations to all flowers is the mantra. Since I saw a lot of flowers today, I'm feeling very grateful for them. Or even you ask before our poetry reading, in life, how do you navigate doubts from others about your authenticity? Well, if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you are still working on trusting your own intentions, then that's what's authentic to you in that moment, you know? If what others say genuinely upsets you, well then feeling upset is an authentic expression in that moment. We can't judge them, of course, because that's where they are in their journey, but wherever you are in your journey is where you are too. And you don't have to be at the same place in everyone else's journey. We're all taking different scenic routes, and you are absolutely allowed to still be in the process of working on yourself. Not that you have to work on yourself. You are beautiful, perfect just as you are. But working can also be beautiful and perfect. Hello, dear Shelly Belly. Hello, dear Gina. On two different devices again. Synchronicity is a beautiful reminder, dear Sage, that you are on the right path. Hello, Jasmine. Thank you, Neon Jello Pack, for your heart, me. Ram Ram. Welcome, dear G. I know, dear Ginger Bear. Hello, Jacqueline. Hello, Pluto. Jai Gurudev Neem Karoli Baba. Thank you, oh no. Yeah, that's the synchronicity magic word. Zigga zigga, if that's how I pronounce it. Zigga zigga. Yes, I was at the Bouchard Gardens today, dear Hannah. Thank you, dear Simon. Welcome back. Yeah, or abracadabrant. So let's read this poem that was submitted by Nanda. It's very beautiful. Nanda has named this poem His Grace Within My Heart. It's a poem for Narayana Bhagwan, a form of the personal divine Bhagwan, known as Narayana, which is the form of the divine symbolized as sleeping underneath the waters, under the ocean. All you wrote was, I really love Vishnu, so I write him poems. And that's all you really need to say. That is sufficient. I will do my best to read this poem now. Channel my own love for Narayana Bhagwan. His Grace Within My Heart. In it, your eyes are magnetic, a soft glow across your face, and all I can do is fall to your grace, bluer than the eternal ocean when I look into those eyes. The one who made my heart also has stolen it. My life to you I will commit, for I am born to die, born to fall back into your heart. It is divine. One day we will reunite, and I will tell you I fell in love with your blue numerous times. No matter how far I went, I always crawled back to your love. Only through your hands will I be reincarnated. When I was born, when love was born, I became your creation. Sincerely, Shri Krishna devotee, aka Nanda. I messed up one word. I'll do it again. So nice, gotta hear it twice. His Grace Within My Heart. You look like a dream. In it your eyes are magnetic, a soft glow across your face, and all I can do is fall into your grace, bluer than the eternal ocean when I look into those eyes. The one who made my heart has also stolen it. My life to you I will commit, for I am born to die, born to fall back into your heart. It is divine. One day we will reunite, and I will tell you I fell in love with your blue numerous times. No matter how far I went, I always crawled back to your love. Only through your hands will I be reincarnated. When I was born, when love was born, I became your creation. Thank you for sharing that with us, dear Nanda, allowing us to be privy to your bhakti, your loving devotion. Exactly how you say it yourself. Well, that is a grace. Oh, wonderful. I agree, dear Kimmy. So much talent in this community. It's lovely. Lots of nice words. I'm glad you could be here in the comments to witness all the love reflected back at you. Thank you everyone for listening, and if you ever want to submit something for show and tell, do check out the show and tell submission form in the link tree in the bio. What a beautiful start to our Sangha. Raven, that actually deepened your reverence for blue. And oh, that lovely blue on the screen. We do have a lot of blue on the screen today. Complementary colors with orange as well. Yeah. Well said, dear moon girl. Hello, dear Lucy. Dear Marlin, welcome. Thank you, Gina. Gina, for your rose and heartbeat. Om Narayanaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodaya. Thank you, Neon Jello Pack, for your quartet of team bracelets. Jaya Sachitananda. It is synchronous with my sweatshirt today. What is it? What did you say? Zaza. No, I said Zaza Blamo in our chat today. That was my word for synchronicity. Zaza Blamo. Jai Shri Ram. Zaga Zaga. Welcome everybody. Now, I hope you are feeling good vibes from this live stream. Let us continue reading through this book, The Journey Home. Today we start the 6th chapter of the 4th act of The Journey Home. As always, may this reading relax your mind and awaken your heart. I'm really gonna like this chapter, I think. I hope you do too. Let's dive right into it. You're gonna like this Nanda, especially. To live in the lush forests of Vrindavan, the river Yamuna beckoned me to her banks, where once again I could live the life of a homeless wanderer, sleeping under a different tree every night. I had only the clothes on my back, 2 pieces of unstitched cloth, one that I wrapped around my waist to cover the lower part of my body, and one that covered the upper part. Solitude was again my welcome companion. Often I slept at Chiraghat, near an ancient Kadamba tree. Aspirants to pure love of God had come since time immemorial to this holy site to hang tokens of garments as a prayer-filled symbol for Krishna to steal away the cloak of their ignorance. The Kadamba tree is considered especially sacred in Vrindavan, and its blossoming flowers bring everyone joy. The Kadamba flower, a bright golden ball about the size of a strawberry and covered with hundreds of tiny golden trumpet-shaped petals, has an intoxicatingly sweet fragrance. Because these flowers resemble Shri Radha's golden complexion, Kadamba trees are very dear to Lord Krishna. Each night I would kneel under the tree at Chiraghat and pray for humility and devotion. Then I would stretch my body on the riverbank, feeling the cold soil beneath my flesh as I drifted into sleep. My bedding was the sacred earth, my blanket the starry sky, and my waking call the distant ringing of temple bells. Every morning at 4 o'clock I would awaken in the darkness, bow down on the riverbank in gratitude, and wade into the sacred waters for my bath. November was approaching, and the Yamuna had turned frigid. Often I stood shivering, submerged up to my neck. I recalled lyrics from a song that I had loved in my childhood. The river Jordan is chilly and cold. It chills the body but warms the soul. Yes, I reflected, enduring difficulty for a meaningful purpose is a sublime pleasure. Dunking my entire body under the water, again and again, I meditated on purifying my body, mind, and soul. Then I stood quietly, under the still starlit sky, praying for a pure heart. This was my first meditation each day. I felt so close to the Lord. Afterwards, I would climb back onto the riverbank, disrobe to my loincloth, wring the water from my dripping garments, and put them back on. Sitting down on the riverbank, I would again meditate on the Hare Krishna mantra while fingering prayer beads made of the wood of tulasi. Each day began this way, an experience I prayed never to forget. One evening, as twilight dimmed into night, I sat under the sacred Kadamba tree and composed a letter to my father. It had been 2 weeks since I had made the riverbank my residence. My dear father, my long search has led me to Vrindavan. I have at last found something that attracts my heart as pure truth. It has taken until now to find the conditions I have been seeking. In the past couple weeks, I have realized the great jewel that is to be learned in Vrindavan. Believe me when I tell you that I am not here for any pleasure or leisure. I am here with all earnestness and sincerity to carry out a mission that I cannot neglect. You know that in all my life, I have never willfully hurt you. Please believe the importance of this journey to my life. Love, Richard, Vrindavan, October 1971. One quiet afternoon, as I walked along the bank of the river Yamuna, little barefoot boys wearing shorts and little barefoot girls in cotton blouses and skirts frolicked, laughing with wild abandon while playing cricket with sticks and balls. Other children herded cows, buffalo, goats, or sheep with slender sticks. Women passed with baskets of grains balanced on their heads, covering their faces with their saris out of shyness as I passed. To my right, under a tree, Krishna Das Babaji was sitting, softly singing the Lord's names. Taking note of me, he patted the ground, inviting me to sit. There we watched as a boatman ferried people across the river. Then Babaji whispered, "Under this tamarind tree is a favorite meeting place for Radha and Krishna." Intrigued, I inquired, "Babaji, everyone around here loves Radha so much. Please tell me about her." His eyes filled with tears at the mere sound of Radha's name. Closing his eyes, he leaned forward. The scriptures and saints teach us that God is one. Yet, the Lord has both a male and female nature. Krishna is the male principle, and Radha is the feminine potency. In the spiritual world, the one Lord presides in these two forms. The love between Krishna, who is the beloved, and Radha, the lover, is the divine origin of all love. Babaji, I asked, how does this love between God's masculine and feminine nature relate to the love people share in this world? Krishna Das Babaji answered, under the veil of illusion, or Maya, we forget the ecstatic love for God, which is intrinsic to our souls. Love in this world is only a reflection of it. We are searching for real love in so many ways, forgetting that it is within our hearts. Babaji looked so meek. Raising his white eyebrows, his voice faltered. Krishna longs to be conquered by that love of his devotee, and by the supreme grace of Radha, we can realize that love. She is the compassionate nature of the Absolute and the fountainhead of all spiritual love. The mystery of Radha, the female energy of God, had both fascinated and eluded me. After all I had experienced, after all I had read, after all the sadhus I had met, nothing had prepared me for the hidden truth of yoga's greatest mystery, the mystery of bhakti, or loving devotion. And now I was learning that the keeper of this mystery was Radha. For the first time it began to dawn on me that these saints of Vrindavan had penetrated into the deepest, most confidential aspect of the spiritual journey. The secret that beyond worldly pleasures and beyond the liberation of oneness with God is an eternal dance, an endless night of love, and the intoxication of one's very soul. And the one capable of giving entry to this unbearably sweet realm was Radha. It was their yearning to connect with Radha that allowed these yogis of Vrindavan to demonstrate such intense and genuine humility. By casting aside all interest in yogic powers, they seemed to be drowning in an ocean of divine love. My mind and heart were charmed by this rich theology known as bhakti, the yoga of unconditional love. It seemed to put so many of my mind's questions, both asked and yet to be asked, in a comprehensive perspective. Although still apprehensive about committing myself to one particular path, I felt a yearning brewing in my heart to follow the path of bhakti. After Krishna Das Babaji blessed me, stood up and walked away along the riverbank, I sat there staring into the river and contemplated on this secret of the feminine divinity. In the Christian church, the adoration of Mary, the mother of Jesus, inspired both divine love and embittered factions. And the mystery of Mary Magdalene gave rise to secret orders, veiled symbolism, and intrigue. Many Hebrews saw Shekinah. That's the first time I've heard that word, so please forgive me if I could do better pronouncing the Hebrew. Shekinah, as the female aspect of God, or the bride of the Sabbath, as did certain students of the Kabbalah. And within Islam, there were followers of the Sufi sect who honor the divine feminine in their reference to Fatima. Now I was finding how from the Vedic, ancient spiritual perspective, feminine divinity had always been accepted as truth. As I looked out onto Mother Yamuna, I pondered on how the nourishing, compassionate side of spirituality is often overruled by the elements of power and control. It impressed me how important it was to pay attention to the feminine aspect of the divine. Thank you for listening. We're not quite done the 6th chapter of the 4th act of the journey home, but we'll pause there for now, and I very much look forward to continuing where we left off next time. If that sparked any insights or celebrations or ideas, please feel free to share them. But that concludes our Shravana section of our live stream. Oh, how grateful I am for such a wonderful introduction, listening to the sublime poetry of Nanda, followed by the beginning of this chapter on Radha and Krishna and the feminine aspect of the divine. How beautiful. Yeah. We'll listen to some Sufi poetry later on as I mentioned, an intermission between Manana and Nididhyasana. And we'll transition now from Shravana to Manana, the portion dedicated to Q&A. We can discuss whatever is in our hearts and minds. I welcome those who joined while we were reading. Michelle, you wrote that almost every time you see Radha and Krishna, you start crying. You had no idea why, but now you understand. Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyama, Radhe Shyama, Shyama Shyama, Radhe Radhe. Thank you for listening, dear Kimmy, and oh no. You healed a bit more each time you hear acknowledgement of the Divine Feminine. I feel that too, dear Raven. No transition sound effect today, dear Jay. Oh, my apologies. Here, let me go back. Okay, we're going forward again. Thank you for your love from Libya, dear Opsag. Hello, dear Apostolos. Thank you, dear Shallow Play, for the rose that you sent. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you, Gabriella, for your heartbeat. Om Kring Kali Kaye Namah. Free Palestine. Thank you, Tara, for your heartbeat. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Swaha. Mr. No, and you share, you're reading the Human Creative Abilities section of the Book of Wisdom. That sounds wonderful. Would you share any insights from that section so far? Dear Anne, you ask, is it bad to have such hate for Trump? That's a very good question. Well, hate is like punishing yourself for what other people have done. Why punish yourself? Scientists have noted that when a person is feeling hate, it shows up in their blood work. That you can literally tell when someone is feeling hatred by looking at their blood work. They have less antibodies, less T cells, higher cortisol levels, higher blood pressure. They might even develop some kind of arrhythmia. Our body is so sensitive to our emotional state, especially our cardiovascular system. The health detriments of feeling hatred are actually phenomenal. You even lower your life expectancy. People have done many studies on blue zones. Have you ever heard of blue zones? They're the places in the world where people frequently live past 100 years old. Danda likes blue zones. They're called centenarian studies, I believe. The studies of people who live to be past 100. And there's a lot of differences in their life. You know, many of these people live completely different lives in terms of what they eat, in terms of what they do, in terms of what kind of company they keep. But one of the commonalities is that these are happy people. I think we often get it the other way around. We all want to live a long life because we think that leads to a happy life. But what the science is telling us is it's the other way around. That a happy life is really good for your health. And it may just lead to a long life too. So clearing yourself out of that energy that you hold, it's like letting go of a poison that you take, hoping the other person gets poisoned. It's so good for your body to release that. Welcome, dear Gabriel. Yeah, you watched a Netflix documentary about them. Yeah. Blue zones where everyone is sad. That's funny, dear Ginger Bear. Tibetan Book of the Dead, that is a good one. Yeah. Hi, Bridgen, you share. You wrote, "This color blue is so beautiful. You wish everything was in this color. Last night, the blue had you in a vibe." Yeah, I'm vibing with the color blue today too. Hello, dear Boop. I do love purple sweet potatoes. Yeah, those are very healthy. It's obviously a figure of speech when we say, you know, we've got something weighing on our hearts, you know, we feel heartbroken. Or is it? I mean, we do mean different things when we talk about our emotional heart and our physical heart, but yet there is a connection between our emotional heart and our physical heart. Our heart definitely changes in response to our emotional heart. Is gratitude the key to happiness? Asks. Oh no. I don't know if I'd put a definite article in front of key to happiness, but it is certainly one of many keys to happiness, yes. And I think the reason gratitude works so well is because if you find something in this moment to be grateful for, then you can actually be present. If you don't like this moment, it's difficult to be present, and so you're lost in thought, either in the past or the future. And you know what can happen if you think about the future for too long. So much uncertainty. Or what will happen if you think about the past too long. So many mistakes. Finding something to be grateful for connects you with the present moment and takes you from the cloud of thoughts. Dear Gigi baby, you had asked, how do you decrease depression? Change your perspective of what depression is. Jim Carrey said that being depressed is needing deep rest. So your depression isn't taking you away from the world. It's pushing you inward to reconnect with yourself. Not unlike the famous analogy of a butterfly, which, as a cocoon, shelters itself from the world for a while, builds a kind of safety net, and then dissolves within that, and reconstructs itself into a winged insect. And then it pushes against the very walls that it set up for itself, gaining the strength to fly above everything that used to keep it grounded. You become groundless. In other words, you I mean this in a very specific way. You don't decrease your depression, you increase your depression. You increase your deep rest. Allow yourself to take that journey inward, trusting that you will come back. You like mantra, dear dude. I like mantra too. Here, I'll do one. I'll do some in respect to the gifts that were sent. Dear Aira, thank you for your heart me. Om Bhur-Bhuvaswa Tatsavitur-Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Raven, thank you for the rock star. Om Ham Jum Sa Om Dhryambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Bhushte Vardhanam Urvarukam Iva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Tatwamasi, thank you for your quintet of roses. Om Namo Bhagavate Dakshinamurtaye Mahyam Medham Prajnam Prayacha Swaha. And dear Oren, thank you for your team cheers and friendship necklace. Om Namah Karlim Ambitame Shoring Naditame Haring Devitame Ang Sarasvatyai Swaha. Saleya, thank you for your rose. Om Kali Mahakali Kalike Parameshwari Sarvananda Kari Devi Narayani Namostute. And dear Dancing Aurora Borealis, thank you for your flowers. I think I ran out of longer mantras. Om Sadhyo Jatam Prapadyami Sadhyo Jataya Vai Namo Namah Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave Bhavaswamam Bhavodbhavaya Namah. Just kidding. Your cat seems to love the sound of my voice, shares Oh no. Aw. Well, back to your cat, I say. They'll understand. God is great, dear Rasul Allah. Hello, dear Ari. Nice to have you back. So some insights from your reading, dear Mr. Noah, states how our minds bring into being complex creations, and how we bring a multitude of needs and desires and aspirations to life. That is beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. These blue places are magical, and they transmit a magnetic vibration. Well said, dear Sandra. Are you sure you've never been happier than when you picked up trash from the street? You were also on a copious amount of drugs. But the happiness came from your karma yoga, your seva from helping. You had a good therapy session today. I'm happy to hear that, dear Gabriel. But it left a lot of solving to yourself. But you think if you meditate, you'll figure it out. Just gotta get good enough at dharana to do sadhana. Yes. Dharana to sadhana. I like that. Contemplation to spiritual practice. Yeah. I think a good therapist will not walk hold our hand the whole way, but point us in the right direction and then inspire us to follow it. Thank you, Hybrid Gen, for your trio of flowers. Om Vamadevaya Namo Jyeshtaya Namah Shreshtaya Namo Rudraya Namah Kalaya Namah Kalavikarnaya Namo Balaya Namo Balavikarnaya Namo Balapramathanaya Namah Sarva Bhuta Damanaya Namo Manonmanaya Namah. Must have clarity first, shares Gabriel. Get out of your dorsal vagal nerve into your ventral vagal, the frontal lobe, then you should be good, right? It's very interesting. I haven't heard that before, but I think I get the sentiment. Yeah, shifting states of mind. Ari, I have a real question if I have time. How do you get back on a spiritual path you've been straying for years? You've been on it. You're never not on it. Even if you quote-unquote stray. Yeah. The path is spontaneous. But if you had some good routines that worked for you before, and you know that they'll work for you again, well, you've got everything you need. You got that knowledge that, hey, something I was doing was really working, and you've seen the benefits of that. That is your motivation. In fact, you have something even better than before, which is the proof that they made an effect in your life. What better motivation is that? Gabriel, you don't know if it's possible to meditate away stress while in an unsafe environment. That remains unsolved. That is a very important and subtle observation. Sometimes in life we can't choose our environment. In those cases, we try to cultivate an inner environment, sometimes almost literally, that you imagine yourself tilling a field, planting flowers, watering them, clearing the clouds and letting the sun shine on them, watching them grow, and you check back on this garden every time you meditate. So you create a safe environment on the inside at the very least. And you'll be surprised at how the universe can, in miraculous ways, reflect the changes that happen on the inside with the world around you too, and vice versa. It's a biconditional relationship then. Dear Anne, you ask, have I read all holy books? That would take a long time. I don't think I even have enough time in this lifetime to read all the books of Taoism, for example. The books of Taoism are enormous. You could literally spend lifetimes reading them and never get to some of the books, even if you read all day, every day, for your whole life. And then don't even get me started on the books of Hinduism. Oh my God, that takes 400 years if you want to calculate it, because it's all written in prosody, and the lengths of the syllables, you can calculate how long it would read. If you recited all of the text without stopping, it would take you 400 years, something like that. And it's said that one of the reasons yogis try to drink soma, the nectar of amrita, ambrosia, immortality, is so that they could live long enough to read all the holy scriptures. Thankfully, we have really nice, concise holy scriptures that are much shorter than that. Like you can read the Bible in a week, probably. I think if you really dedicated yourself, you could probably do it in a week. Same with the Quran, but it's nice to take your time. I don't know how long the Guru Granth Sahib is, but it's not as long either. You can fit it in a single book. And the Buddhist sutras are also incredibly vast. That would take probably a lifetime Definitely decades to read all the Buddhist sutras. But then there's all the books that weren't included in the Bible, for example. If you wanted to read those, that would take a long time. But all you need is one line that just resonates with your heart in any holy scripture. The full force of the divine is embedded in every single word. Even just a single word, if you can pull out of a scripture. And that's actually what the Sikhs do. When you come to a certain age in Sikhism, you'll bow before the Guru Granth Sahib, and you'll open a page, and then one word will come out to you, and that'll be your word, your mantra. I think it's a beautiful tradition. When is my birthday? Asks Mr. No One. You will buy me a copy for my birthday present. That's very kind of you. You don't have to do that. My birthday is in October. And thank you, Sea Flow, for your rose. Om Kamlir Maha Kalikaye Nama. And dear Jason, thank you for your heart, me. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namah. Alex, you share that nowadays we could have computational intelligence summarize all the holy writings. You are right, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. We are blessed to live in the digital age in that sense. I am Princess Mom. You share you love reading all the holy books. You read from the sacred Nitnem, the Bible, and Japji daily. That's such a beautiful thing. I think when you discover the richness of the spiritual traditions of all around the world, everything becomes like a new delicacy to try. It's like, oh my God, literally. I like the video game analogy. You fall in love with a video game, and then the developers, they create downloadable content that adds to that video game. When you start getting the hint of the scent of the divine presence, and then all of the world's traditions become like DLC, downloadable content. Next month you switch to the Vedas and the Tao. What a beautiful tradition you've created for yourself, dear I Am Princess Mom. I love that. Thank you, I Am Princess Mom, for your tiny, tiny yippee. Rasulullah, you share that tonight is a potential Laylatul Qadr night. Oh, you'll have to tell me more about that. That sounds auspicious. Night of Power. In Islamic belief, the al-Qadr, or Night of Power, is the night when Muslims believe the Quran was first sent down from heaven to the world, and also when the Quran's first verses were revealed to the Islamic prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, by the angel Gabriel. It is also known as Shab-e-Qadr in Persian, the night of destiny, the night of decree, the night of determination, or the precious night. Wow. In the Quran it said that this night is better than 1,000 months. approximately 83 and a third years. According to the various hadiths, it's the exact date is uncertain. That's why he said a potential night. But was one of the odd-numbered nights of the last 10 days of Ramadan, the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. Since that time, Muslims have regarded the last 10 nights of Ramadan as being especially blessed. Muslims believe the night comes again every year with blessings and mercy of God in abundance. The surah al-Qadr is named after this night, and the chapter's purpose is to describe the greatness of the occasion. I love that, and how fascinating that it's one of the odd-numbered nights. What an interesting fact that is. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. Thank you for sharing. Mashallah. Thank you for liking the live, dear August. Oh, and thank you, Dove Darker, for your heart meme. And dear Kali, thank you for your heart meme. Om Shri Ganeshaya Nama. Welcome, D's Nuts. Ha! Got him. Thank you all for being here. Why don't we take a nice few moments of deep breathing together? Good to see you too, dear Salmon. Hello, dear Lucy Ashes. Thank you for the love from Malaysia, dear user 319. Nice to have you here again. And thank you, Boob. Good night, oh no. Thank you, Neptune, for the rose you sent. Agnimire Purohitam Yajnasya Devam Radvedam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam. Thank you, Islam. Hello, dear grateful human. Nice to have you here too. Thank you, grateful human, for your quartet of roses. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh, I have to solve a puzzle. There we go. You know, I think I forgot to do the peace invocation at the beginning of this live stream. The best time to plant a tree is 40 years ago. Next best time is today. Best time to do a peace invocation is at the beginning. Next best time is now. This one comes from the Taittiriya and Katha Upanishad, two very ancient scriptures. In Sanskrit, it goes like this. I think I might wait until a sneeze passes, however. Is it coming or is it going? It's a good question. Cotton Eye Joe? I think it's going. Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karva Vahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvisha Vahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May the divine protect us both together. May the divine nourish us both together. May our studies be vigorous and effective, and may we not mutually dispute or hate any. Om. May there be peace in us. May there be peace in our environment, and may there be peace in the forces that act on us. Am I in Tibet? I would love to be in Tibet. However, I'm in Canada. I'm also grateful to be in Canada, however. Thank you for the love, dear finding bliss. Namaskara, dear Lucy. Many people end up following many paths throughout the course of their life. They're all very beautiful. I have a question of the day for you, if you are interested. Today my question is, what does the feminine aspect of God include? It's an often underrepresented subject. We often reserve the masculine pronouns for God. And there is a context in which that absolutely makes sense. But in what context does the feminine make sense as? Sorry, I lost my voice. And I forgot to get water. It'll come back. La-da-dee, la-da-doo, la-da-dum. Okay. Some answers to the question of the day. You know what? I might as well just get my water bottle. I'll be right back. But I look forward to seeing your beautiful answers to our question of the day. There we go. Thank you for your patience. Okay. What does the feminine aspect of God include? caregiving, shares Rasulullah. Islam, you share nurturing, unconditional love, beauty. Alex, you share softness, creation. Creation, creativity, cycles, flow. I like that. Cycles and flow. That's a new one. Nurturing, comforting, shares Kaylee. Authenticity, shares Rasulullah. Everything, shares Kulli. I love that. That's a good answer. Nurturing, compassion, intuition, wisdom, creativity, receptivity, and life-giving force. Sustenance, shares Lucy. Yeah. Hello, smells like Sarah Spirit. Is a goddess feminine energy? Absolutely, dear Lucy, yeah. Salmon, you share in yin, nurturing and creativity, creating, evolving, and bringing beauty, also gentleness of a mother. Water comes from comets. That is a fun fact. Thank you, Alex. Hello, Kristen. I think my voice is coming back now. Yeah. You see the divine and the feminine, dear 5. Me too. The feminine aspect is rage. I love that, Kristen. Absolutely. Yeah. Dear apex predator, you ask, do I eat raw meat or organs? No, I haven't eaten any animal product besides some dairy products in the last few years or so. I am happy and healthy, but everyone's body is different. Whatever you find works for your body, stick with that. Hello again, dear G. Gentleness, protection, shares Marlon. Embracing, I like that, Lucy. Friendship, shares Riri. Gentleness, shares Anne. I like that. Hi, Siri. Would being a portal be one? I like that. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Finding bliss. We all came from that portal, didn't we? Patience, shares Lucy. And empathy. I like these. Tatwamasi, you share activity, a sense of belonging. It's beautiful. Oren, you do not have an answer as you believe God to be both divine, masculine, and feminine at the same time. That's beautiful. I love that too, dear Oren. Soft and gentle touch, love and protection, shares Gina. Erica, you would love to hear my thoughts on the cyclical nature of the feminine aspect of God. Well, it's the only way to have an experience. To have an experience, you have to have something moving. And everything that moves comes into being through vibration. And vibration is a cycle of ups and downs, or going around and around. The only reason we can see is because the electromagnetic field is vibrating. We call that light. The only reason we can hear is because the molecules in our air are moving, vibrating around, and the electrons are spinning around. The only reason we can taste is because of literally the quantum oscillations in the molecules of what we taste and also smell. And temperature, the sense of touch, it's all vibration, all vibrations and cycles. And you see that at macroscopic scales too, with planets and galaxies and perhaps even the whole universe. All of that is Mother Nature, the creatrix herself. Yeah, absolutely. There's femininity in men, and we all come from our mothers. We must carry some of that within us. We all have purely maternal mitochondrial DNA, the powerhouse of the cells. We all have an X chromosome, the feminine chromosome. Thank you, Mrs. Fifth Dimensional. Thank you for the heart me you sent. Radhe, Radhe. And Kristen, thank you for your pair of roses. Om Shrim Mahalakshmiyai Namah. Dear Oren, thank you for your team power and team cheers. Om Kring Kali Kaye Namah. Desire, passion, shares Kaylee. Banjo, you share that I was in your dream last night. I was in robes. I like to be in robes. I wish I had more robes. Teaching a crowd. Oh, wow. The message was unclear. You tried to translate. That's funny. I wasn't speaking your native language in your dream. That's funny. I'll try to be more clear with my words. Marlon, you share the earth as the feminine aspect of God. I see that. Yes, Mother Earth. And you share, you guess, that feminine does not mean woman. That's a great observation, yeah. There's also the masculinity in the woman too. Mr. No One, you share that the feminine equals 9. There's some numerology for you. The woman can be considered the master builder of the Temple of Solomon. Well, there's some symbolism for you. I like that. You have a family celebration and guitar here, shares I Am Princess Mom. That's awesome. If I could, I would join you. That's fun. G, you share the feminine aspect of God includes all material expression. That's beautiful. And I like your mantra, dear Ari. Thank you, Kali, for your pair of team powers. Om Dum Durgaya Namah. And dear Bobby Sue, thank you for your heart me and team bracelet. Om Kang Jaknupyai Namah. Pardon my hiccup, we'll do that again. Om Kang Jaknupyai Namah. Nanda, you share unconditional love and unconditional chances to do better. That is beautiful. Dancing Aurora Borealis, you share that the Bible talks about God as a hen that gathers her brood under her wings. Really? I've never heard that one before. That's perfect, yeah. I like that. Red, you share the night, the occult, and I scrolled away accidentally. The illusions and the subconscious. Those are really great mystical answers. Thank you for that, Red. Thank you, Banjo, for your heart. Me too. Om Namo Maya Shaktaye. Oh, thank you, Chelsea. May it be so. And of all the wonderful qualities that you imbibe, I aspire to be like you. Thank you, Michelle, for this book. Wonderful answer to the ability to be both gentle and strong, both caring and assertive. Yeah. Mr. No One, you share in women their ability to bring life forth, nurturing the divine, sacred cycle of life is beautiful. Dear God, I just called you God, Jay. Dear Jay, you share, God is the ultimate observer, the one who loves all through awareness. That is very motherly. I love that. I'm happy you can see the divine in the mother, just as I saw the divine in you. Dear Bobby Sue, you share nurture, justice, creation. That's a good one, justice. I like that. You like your mantras with a hiccup. That's funny, Banjo. How did I become so content and peaceful? Well, I don't think I became content or peaceful. It was always there. I just forgot about it. And then I remembered, oh, that's right. I've got all this good, gloopy, wonderful feelings inside. I misplaced them. Where did I put them? Just around the right ventricle. Somewhere in this capillary in my heart. Where is it? It's in the light that reflects off of the people's faces in my life when I try to be a bright, shining light for them. I have a long way to go still. You have a question, dear Marlon? You have beautiful prayers, dear Rasulullah. Raven, you shared, to you describing divine feminine and masculine is like describing higher dimensional geometry. I like that. There is an ineffable energy to the divine feminine. Ineffable is a good word. Yeah. Give life, human being, shares Gina. Yes. Dear Mars, you ask, am I Buddhist? No, I'm not. I have a lot of love for the Buddha, though. I see the truth in the words of the Buddha. If that's all it requires to be given the title of Buddhist, I guess I am. But it doesn't exclude me from having love for all the other spiritual paths. Dear Ari, you ask, would I agree that we force our negative habits on ourselves because we are scared to let go? I do know what you mean, Ari. Yeah. I can see how we do that. Exactly. Dear Alex, you're wondering if I'm still keeping up with math. All that I love about math still remains with me. That's still there. I keep it with me in my heart. You forgot what you were going to ask, dear Marlon. That's okay. It'll come to you. Thank you, Babel Fishy, for your trio of roses. Om Namo Buddhaya. Mars, you ask, how would I identify my religion? I always say my religion is my humanity. That my first and foremost religion is my humanity. And within this humanity, you will find all religions. Thank you, everyone, for exploring this question of the day with me. I'm grateful to be surrounded by such wisdom. Banjo, you add to that, the feminine gives space for rest, rejuvenation, expression, and learning and honing, a comfy refuge. Yeah, I see that. And you ask, was I a good student? It depends on your definition. Depends on the teacher. If I liked the teacher or not. If I was their pet, if I liked them, I'd be the teacher's pet. If I didn't like them, I'd be my teacher's worst nightmare. And I think my grades reflected my relationship with my teacher more so than my understanding. You know? I've always felt like teachers grade based on how much they like their students. If my teacher liked me, I got good grades, and if I liked them. Yeah. I'm very grateful to have had a lot of teachers that I liked, and that saw the good in me too. But there were a couple of them that I definitely challenged. And there were many teachers that liked me, but still were objective. They didn't let me slide if I messed up, which I'm grateful for too. Left and right hemispheres of the brain. That's a good addition to Dear Fine. Or do you feel like all your habits are just unnecessary, yet you don't stop? Well, to be fair, you don't know what you have to replace them with then. Because even if you know something is not particularly healthy for you, that you know that there's something else out there, until you know what that something else is, then you continue. When you find that which is going to not just substitute your habit, but add something even more to your life, then it's a simple process. But simple doesn't always mean easy. Transitions can be very hard. Dear Alice Olivia, you ask how old am I? I am 23. Dear Oren, you share, you seem to be smiling like a quokka. A quokka? I'm happy to hear that you're smiling. What is a quokka? An animal that I've never heard of. Oh my goodness. That is the most smiley animal I've ever seen. You all have to see this. Here, can I share my screen? Here. Look at these smiling oh my goodness, they are just so happy. Let me get a nice zoom in on this for you. Now that's a happy quokka. Wow. Happy, smiling, smiling. They're all smiling. Smiling with a little flower or fruit or something. Smile. This is the Lord's most happiest creature. Oh, a little cute little smile. I can almost hear them go, "Yaha! Yippee! Yeah, aww." That's the most polite little smile. Hands together. A pause. A little smug smirk. Little cutie patooties. Exactly, Magdalene. Oh, this one isn't smiling. What happened to this one? They look constipated. That's probably it. Happy. Look at me. I'm grabbing a vine. Yahoo. No, this one isn't smiling either. Or maybe it's just the angle. When you look at them from the side, it's hard to see their smile. Yeah, the other one maxed out his credit card. That's right. That was like an evil smile. It's great. Yeah. How do you share that the resemblance is remarkable? Palpable. Perfect. Well, that's exactly the image I'll have in mind of you from now on. Thank you. I've learned a new thing. Quokka. Yeah, the ones that weren't smiling is because of inflation. That's alright, Michelle. Yeah, the rest of the podcast is dedicated to quokkas. Hello, dear Bandalika. And that's a very wise observation too, dear Alex. You're unconscious of beliefs. Those habits are that are necessary. Michelle, you are such a teacher's pet. One of your favorite teachers still calls you from time to time. That's so sweet. I love that. And hello, dear Shelley Jervis. What did I study? Asks Mars. I studied math and physics, logic, that sort of thing. The theoretical side of all that stuff. That's right, he said these eggs are too expensive. Tariffs, something like that. Thank you, Banjo Farts, for your woodland wonder. Those were some woodland wonders. Quokka nama. No, I'm just kidding. Pashupataye Namah. Salutations to the Lord of Animals, Pashupati. Now that's one of your favorite animals. I think mine too, dear Mars. I was just talking with my sister today that when we were younger, we used to... Do you remember that? So many kids would just have like a favorite animal, and we'd obsess over that, and then it would switch like the next week. You know, this week I love Arctic foxes. Next week, you know, I love Himalayan gophers. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Dear Mars, you ask if I know Hindi. I took a couple lessons on Duolingo one time. It's because I wanted to learn from this teacher that spoke in Hindi. Because I know that a lot of spiritual lectures are done in Hindi. But I stopped, and I would actually like to get back into learning Hindi. But I really want to learn Sanskrit. Sanskrit is number one on my list. Sanskrita. Tamil is up there as well. Have I ever been to Dubai? Says Dr. Camellia. I'd be welcome there, and you'd be happy to see me there. Well, that's very kind of an offer. No, I've actually never left Canada, but I would like to start traveling. Are Sanskrit and Hindi the same? Asks Mars. They are written in the same script, Devanagari, which means from the city of the divine. Actually, the letters are called Devanagari, the citizens of the divine. Beautiful. Comes from the ancient script Brahmi, which means just divine. Ultimate, actually. Expansions of the ultimate. But learning Hindi, you won't be able to learn to know Sanskrit, or vice versa. They are very different languages in many senses. However, many words in Hindi come from Sanskrit. In some sense, you could say that Hindi evolved out of Sanskrit. It's a kind of Prakrit. And so, learning Sanskrit, you start to pick up on lots of the elements in Hindi, and vice versa. Learning Hindi, they use a lot of Sanskrit words. Like Nam. Nam is just Nama, but with the schwa deleted. Hindi is what's called a schwa-deleted language, whereas Sanskrit used to pronounce the schwas. These are the sounds of the vowel A lot of Hindi words are just Sanskrit words, but with the schwas deleted. Like instead of nama, you have nam. Instead of Sanskrita, you have Sanskrit. And it applies to the many forms of the divine in India too. Instead of Shiva, you have Shiv. Instead of Rama, you have Ram. Instead of Krishna, you have Krishna. No, I've never been to India, Tibet, or Nepal, dear Dr. Camellia. But you just came back from Tibet in October, and Nepal. That's wonderful. My heart has traveled the land, but my body has yet to catch up. Hello, dear Riggs. Yes, Hindi will be best in modern-day India, in the north especially. It's like the difference between German and English, says Jacqueline. Yeah, English is a Germanic language, and Deutsch is part of that language family too. And Deutsch contains a lot of the Proto-Germanic words. Probably the best comparison would be between English and Proto-Germanic, because we're talking on the time scale of thousands of years of difference. Hindi is old, but it's relatively new compared to Sanskrit, which is at least 3,500 years old. I might compare English to Latin, perhaps, although we are talking about a little different branches of the Proto-Indo or the Indo-European languages. English is on the Germanic branch rather than the Italic branch. Mr. Nolan, you ask, does sound hold divine power? Absolutely. In many of the world's religions, it's said that sound came first. Even Christianity. You might say, but God said, let there be light, and there was light. Ah, but first God said, let there be light. And then there was light. Or in the 1 John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was the Word. Not the image, but the Word. And definitely in Hinduism, it's considered that the world came from sound, specifically from the pranava. Until it split into Prakriti, and Purusha, and further divided into the Akara, the Ukara, and the Makara, And then from there, all the other sounds were created, and the sounds are the elements. If you notice, there's 5 regions in the mouth to produce a sound, largely. There's the back of the throat, the guttural region. That's associated with the element of Akash, space. All of the guttural sounds can be made at the back of the throat. Or the spatial sounds, the sounds that represent space. Then there's the soft palate. The soft palate represents the element of air that came from space. All of the pranic sounds come from that region of the mouth. Then there's the hard palate. We don't have many of the retroflex sounds in English, but if you curl your tongue back to touch the hard palate, that's the region of fire. All sounds corresponding to fire originate there. And then there's our lips, which represent the water sounds. Sounds related to flow come from the lips. And then there's the dental sounds with the teeth. All sounds relating to the earth come from there. And the elements, the 5 elements, are corresponding to these regions of the mouth. And then there's the different energies of creation, preservation, and destruction, which on these die represent different axes, like all of those sounds you see on those faces. These would be earth-like destructive sounds, destructive earth-like sounds. And then, did I get that right? Yeah, I did get that right. And then, let's see, what am I looking at? All of these would be the preserving earth-like sounds. That's it. And then these would be all of the creative earth-like sounds. Those are the 3 dimensions. And then the opposite side would be the lack of that. So there's this combinatorics of 5 different elements, and then a combination of any of 3 different energies: creation, preservation, destruction. And these produce this geometry of 50 sounds. And of course you can explore the intermediaries between these sounds, but that represents all of the sounds in Sanskrit, for example. And it is from those sounds that we get the mantras that it said the divine used to create the earth and the stars and the sun and the moon and the trees and everything. Hello, dear Vuyel. Thank you for the reminder to drink water and eat, dear Oren. Thank you, dear Jared, for the heart me you sent. Rama Rama. And dear Franklin, thank you for your heart me. Om Kam Namah Prajapataye. Dear Truth Seeker, thank you for your heart me. Am Namah Parashaktaye. Thank you for giving away 2 subscriptions, dear Banjo. That's very selfless of you. 1 to Neon Jello Pack and 1 to Mr. No One. I hope to be your humble servant. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namah. Dear Vuyal, you ask, how is it different to live in no self? Anatman, or Anita in Pali. How different is it to live? You do all the same things, except you don't do them. If that makes sense. All the same things get done, but it's no longer one that creates attachments or identifications. Let's say this arm moves out and it knocks over a vase. No longer does the thought appear, I broke the vase, now I have to clean it up. Instead, it's, oh, the vase broke. Now it must be cleaned up. And what transpires externally is that this person goes, gets the broom and brush and cleans it up. But internally what changes is that this is just something that's happening rather than something that specifically you are doing, and all of these mental attachments and identifications are associated with. And it's a lot more peaceful that way. That is known as the path of Nivritti, the path beyond mentality. Thank you, K8 Oromi. Dear Jason, you're wondering, aside from this, what are my streams of income? None. No, this is my way of taking care of any essentials, which I'm very grateful for. It's never expected nor necessary, but it covers everything I need right now. Thank you, Shakira, for your heart me. Karing Kali Kainam. Queen Silver Foxy, thank you for your woodland wonder and friendship necklace. Om Namo Bhagavate Urudraya. And thank you, Shakira, for your tiny tongue. Yippee! You have another question for you, Marlon. Yes, please share. And hello, and thank you, Aquarius lady. Hello, dear Feral Merman. Hello, dear Andromeda. What is under my arm? Asks Wizard Emoji. Yakin mild. This is called a Yoga Danda. The easiest way I can explain how it works is if you've ever been sick, or the next time you're sick, if you haven't already noticed this, your nose is plugged, of course, you're congested. When you lay on one side, often your left nostril will open up. Even if your right nostril gets congested, when you're laying on your right side, you might breathe easier through your left nostril. Similarly, when you're laying on your left side, your right nostril opens up. Now, I'm sure some very smart person can explain the science behind that, the evolution perhaps of making sure the right side of your body and its nervous system is activated when you're laying on your left side and vice versa. But yogis have long since taken advantage of this fact with a very simple stick. I guess what the body does is it detects the pressure that's on one side of your body when your arm is being pressed into your armpit. And you can simulate that pressure just by getting anything. Doesn't even have to be this. You can hold your hand like this, and you can just put your hand under like that, or vice versa. So if you wanted to open up your right nostril, then you'd put it under your left armpit. And you'll see artwork of yogis carrying these things, and vice versa. Actually, my left armpit needs some. That's funny, Michelle. It does kind of look like a crutch. And adding to that, there is a lateralization of our nervous system, that different hemispheres of our brain are associated with predominantly different effects. And this can be generalized into the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. That's the fight or flight response, or the rest and digest response. The yogis called it the solar energy and the lunar energy, known as Pingala and Ida. And so depending on if you want your solar or your lunar energies activated, then you put it under the corresponding armpit. How cool is that? And I honestly was skeptical when I first got it. I was crossing my fingers. I hope this actually works. And so I put it under my armpit, and corresponding to the side that was open, and I wanted the other one open, and then I waited, and lo and behold, the other one opened, and I put it under the under armpit, and only a few minutes goes by, and the other one opened. They do naturally cycle, but on the scale of hours. But you can switch as many times as you want within an hour, and it's incredible. I see why the yogis bring these things with them everywhere. It's a life changer. But it's not explicitly necessary to have something physical. As I said, you can literally just use your hand like that. But you can get tired from doing that, so it's nice to have a prop. And you can get one for very cheap. I mean, go into your local wilderness and just find a stick that's roughly that shaped. Or you can put some together with a couple pieces of wood. Give yourself a little personal project. Thank you, dear JB. How many mukhi on the bottom bead? Just 5. Yeah. Pancha mukhi. Hello, dear snow tigers. All my luck is with you. And you're welcome, dear wizard emoji. It is very pretty too. I do appreciate the decorations, but the decorations only add to the sentimental value. I don't think they add to the physical effect. Dear Pastalati, thank you for the heart me you sent. Om Hrim Om. That is a beautiful idea, dear Taco. Hello, dear Rind Fox. Hello, Hannah. Why don't you get my notifications? I don't know. TikTok has a very mysterious distribution system of notifications. All I can do is I put a story on just before I go live. I also put a similar story on my Instagram. And in the story, I described the agenda of what we're going to do through the live stream. I also put a post in the Discord server and in the Telegram group chat. If you want to join any of those things, you're welcome to. Hello, dear Lewis. Yes. The tree of life and the tree of knowledge, those are good symbols. Minnie May, you were asking for clarification. What does a yoga danda do? In short, it puts pressure on one side of your body. Just a little bit, not enough to remove circulation or anything. And that simulates lying on that side, and it activates the opposite side of your nervous system, which is in general associated with the rest and digest response, or the fight or flight response. So it's a way of balancing your nervous system. interestingly. For free. Thank you, Raw Bear, for your heart me. Om Dham Namaschandraya. Dear Gabriel, you ask, how does one let go of a desire? You played the tape through to the end, but you still want to do it. Do you point your attention at something you're grateful for? That can definitely help. But what you have to do is want something else more. I think this life, we learned that our mind doesn't deal with the negative very well, but it deals with the positive very well. If you tell the mind you can't have this, it doesn't change much. But if you tell the mind you can have this instead, oh, well there you go, you have another option. Giving yourself options, possibilities, is perhaps the greatest thing you can do when struggling with an unhealthy desire. If you want to quit some unhealthy coping mechanism, the best thing you can do is surround yourself with things to do. It's not just the distraction, it's the something else that gives you joy. Surround yourself with people and places that, need your help. It's good to help others, especially when you're down, because it gives you something meaningful to do to help raise your spirits up also. Especially when that help is voluntary. Something that you personally elect to do because you want to do it. For example. That really helped me when I was trying to stop my nicotine addiction. And it was successful. I love orange too, Germany May. But you answered your own question, dear Gabriel. Oh, good. It's best when that happens. Yeah. Your Rudraksha has 5 too. Yeah. 5 is the good number, represents the Pancha Brahma, the 5 powers of Shiva. Creation, preservation, destruction, revelation, and concealment. Or the duality and the trinity. The duality of revelation and concealment, and the trinity of creation, preservation, dissolution. Is it uncultured of you, asks Michelle. What is uncultured of you? Oh, to think that this was a crutch? Oh, not at all. No, I mean, I'd be very impressed if you knew this, because I spent forever trying to figure out what this was, because I've seen it in pictures before, but I just couldn't quite find the name of it until I was reading The Hidden Power of Humans, and then just by the description, our author was describing something that was shaped like this, that you put under your arm. And I was like, oh, so that's what that is, and that's what it's used for. It's a type of danda, which is the Sanskrit word for staff or stick, danda. And it's used for yoga, specifically pranayama yoga. So it might be called a pranayama danda, or a yoga danda, or a pranayama yoga danda. But yeah, don't feel uncultured. I literally spent multiple years trying to figure out what it was, and I wasn't able to. The tree of knowledge comes from the nervous system within us all. That is beautiful, Mr. Nolan. Yeah, I do have a telegram, Rind Fox. Hello, dear Denise. Oh, thank you, Dak Ruber. Dear Banjo, you remind yourself the possibilities you're aware of are a fraction of the unlimited you cannot even imagine. That is a great thing to remind yourself with. I love that. Yeah, so true. Mr. Noan, you are a week now, no smoking. That's the hardest week, definitely. Yeah. The first 5 days, especially for nicotine. And you were a heavy smoker. Now, no desire to have one. Too busy with other things. That's amazing. I think for me, I was counting the days. And then I stopped counting at around the 12th day because I knew that, like, it was done. I could already feel by the 12th day that, like, I wouldn't go back. And it was amazing. It's surprising how, you know, you don't even think about it taking such a short amount of time. After 12 days, it's like, really? Wow. Hallelujah. But that does hide the fact that those first few days can be really, really hard because it's just so easy to go back into your old habits. We did do the reading of The Hidden Power in Humans. Oh, sorry. Well, we finished that reading a long time ago, but we did do the reading of The Journey Home, Dear Gabriel. But let us do an intermission shortly of a reading from the Pocket Rumi. Shall we? Oh, hello, dear Anthony. A little more engaging when I'm live. I like our chess game that we've been playing so far. All right. Now let's have another episode of Ruminations. Oof, if it took longer for that title to show up, I don't know if I would have made that. Let's go. This poem is called Mary's Need. I love this. Something really beautiful about Islam. Rumi, our poet, is part of a mystical branch of Islam known as Sufi. If you study religion, you might know that there have been many different Christianities in the past. In ancient times, thousands of years ago, there were many different branches of Christianity. And I'm not talking about the sects that exist today, which are all part of the one that survived. And those are the sects that agreed to the Nicene Creed about the Trinity of the Holy Father, Son, and the Spirit. But interestingly, one of those branches, which also took inspiration from the indigenous traditions of the Middle East, became Islam. So Islam does accept Jesus as part of their religion, but in a different sense. So we'll have a Muslim describing some of the beautiful qualities of Jesus, or in this case, his mother. This poem is called Mary's Need. It was Mary's painful need that made the infant Jesus begin to speak from the cradle. Whatever grew has grown for the sake of those in need, so that a seeker might find the thing they sought. If God Most High has created the heavens, He has created them for the purpose of satisfying needs. Wherever a pain is, that's where the cure goes. Wherever poverty is, that's where provision goes. Wherever a difficult question is, that's where the answer goes. Wherever a ship is, water goes to it. Don't seek the water, increase your thirst, so water may gush forth from above and below, until the tender-throated babe is born. How should the milk for it flow from the mother's breast? It's very beautiful. This poem is called Core and Rind. I once went to a restaurant called Cora's, and they sold crepes. That was their specialty. And I ordered a crepe that had apples in it, but they included all of the apple cores for some reason. It was hard to eat. And I looked up at the table and I said, well, now I know why they call it Cora's. Anyway, this is the poem Core and Rind. The core of every fruit is better than its rind. Consider the body to the rind, and its friend the spirit to be the core. After all, the human being has a goodly core. Seek it for one moment. If you are of those inspired by the divine breath, lastly, let's read Fear of Yourself. Everyone's death is of the same quality as themselves. To the enemy of God, an enemy. To the friend of God, a friend. Your fear of death and fleeing from it is really your fear of yourself. Pay attention, dear soul. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of Ruminations. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to read with you the beautiful poetry of the mystical branch of Islam, Sufi. You are always welcome to share any insights that may have arose during that. That's right, dear Oren. The Devanagari letter for the rolled R. I added that as a sticker by Sangi recommendation. Sangi suggestion. Yes, that is a kind of temple, indeed, dear Anthony. The best temple is, of course, the temple of our heart. May we decorate our inner temple with all the lovely things you'd expect in the most brilliant of temples. You're very welcome, Mermaid. Thank you for listening. Welcome, dear Jack. Now, why don't we transition to our final portion of our Sangha, which is a very fun mantra meditation. I think you're gonna like this. I know that I will. Thank you, Banjo, for your heart me. Om Arm Arlam Ashvini Bhyam Namah. I hope you get to charge your phone soon, dear Anthony. Today I went for a really nice walk. I walked with my sister to a beautiful gardens and I saw many beautiful flowers, and I thought I would love to do a mantra just for flowers. So I did some research on the Sanskrit word for flower, which is phalam. Oh no, sorry, that's fruit. Fruit does come from flower. The Sanskrit word for flower is pushpam. And what the correct dative ending would be for the plural sense, and the word for all, which is sarva, and of course salutations, namaha. And this is what I landed on. Om Namah Sarva Pushpebhyam. This would be the grammatical correct way to say Om, salutations to all flowers, as a mantra. I think we can consider it one that invites the sense of gratitude, one that grows, one that becomes aromatic, fragrant. Let's call it the blossoming gratitude mantra. Om Namah Sarva Pushpebhyah. So, I've added some pronunciation pointers if you want to do it with me. For example, the O, the A, these are long vowels in terms of duration, like in the O of Om, and in the A of Pushpe. That M with a dot under it is an anuswara, you see under the M in the Om. So nasalization. Om, Om. That's what gives the sacred bija mantra Om that nice, delicious resonance. You'll see there's a dot under the S2, which indicates that's a little different. You curl your tongue back to produce that sound. Push, sha 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 sha, push, pe. And then that H at the end, the suffix, the dative form of the plural of pushpa. It is no silent letter, it adds a breath to the B sound. It's aspirated. Ba, 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 rather than ba, ba, ba. And finally at the end, there is a dot below that H that indicates that's a different sound too. That's called a visarga, and it's a mini exhale. It's actually at the end of Namah as well. It makes a slightly different sound based on what follows it. When nothing follows it, it just kind of sounds like a breathy echo of the previous vowel, bia. But when it's before a sibilant like S, then it actually merges into that sibilant. So you'll have an extra breathy beginning of sarva, sarva, sarva. One more time, it sounds like Om Namah Sarva Pushpebhyah. Om, salutations to all flowers. We'll be doing it 108 times together. And to count, we'll have a mala, which is wrapped around my head. I'm going to take my headphones off to pick it up. I hope you enjoy chanting with me. You're welcome to just listen or chant along if you can. Om Namah Sarva Pushpebhyah. 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 Aum Namah Sarva Pushpebhyam. 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 Pushpebhyam. Om Namah Sarva 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 Pushpebhyam. Salutations to all flowers. Why don't we sit for a moment, imagining ourselves surrounded by an aroma, a field of flowers, breathing their radiance all in, blossoming in our own gratitude. Every flower is like a giggle of Mother Earth. Let us imagine that we are like bees, just buzzing with love for our flower friends. That's what the Anuswara in the Om is. Our buzzing like bees for the flowers. And the exhale at the end of Visarga. That's the fragrance being emitted by the flower in response. Thank you for meditating with me. That was 18 minutes. It definitely did not feel like that long. That felt like 5 minutes for me. Spring is here. Oh. All in good time, dear Anthony. As Krishna says in one of the first verses, or in one of the first chapters, there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, something along the lines of, "In this path there is no lost effort." So you could never be ruined in that sense. Even a little bit of this knowledge saves one from fear of the endless cycles of suffering. Thank you, everyone. We've come to the end of our live stream. Now, thank you for those who sent a gift whilst we meditated. Dear Giuliano, thank you for your heart me. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudrah Prachodayat. Dear Tian, thank you for your 20 roses and another quartet and rose. Om Aghorebhyo Ta Ghorebhyo Aghore Tarebhya Sarvatash Sarva Sarvebhyo Namaste Rudra Rupebhya. Thank you, P. Flomatics, for your heart me. Om Ham Ham Hrim Hrim Namah Shakti Shivaya Shiva Shaktiyai Namah. Thank you, Carrie King, for your rose. Jaya Satchitanandam. Dear Banjo Farts, thank you for your 15 roses. Rama Rama, Mr. No One, thank you for your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 roses. Good nonette. Those are the bijas for the Ajna chakra. Dear Inevitable, thank you for your quintet of roses. Gam, 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 jam, 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 nyam, ngam, tam, tam. Those are the bijas for the Anahata Nada chakra. Dancing Aurora Borealis, thank you for your flowers. Ram, dam, dam, tam, tam, dam, dam, nam, pam, pam. Those are the bijas for the Manipura chakra. Thank you, Oren, for your team chairs. Vam, bam, bam, mam, lam, ram, ram. Those are the bijas for the Swadhisthana chakra. What's the crown chakra one? Oh, the crown chakra one? You ready? Om kam kam gam 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 cham cham jam jam nyam dam cham dam dham nam dam tham dam dham nam bam pam mam yam ram lam vam sham sham sam ham sham. It's all of the other sub-mantra bijas for the main chakras. In other words, all of the sounds in Sanskrit. Oh, I forgot the vowels. Also, im, im, rm, rm, That's all of them. Much love to you, Spares. All healing exists within you already. That's all of the bija mantras except for the bindu, which has its own Amritam, which, to be fair, is made up of the sounds of the other ones. Now we've come to the end of our Sangha. I love that quote, Anthony. Heal one breath at a time. Om Namah Shivaya. You are doing well, dear Spares. You're right where you're meant to be in your healing journey. You wonder if anyone has experienced remote viewing. I know one being that has. Sanjaya, the seer to King Dhritarashtra, who was able to narrate the events of the Bhagavad Gita from beyond the battlefield to the leader of the Kauravas. Thank you to my lovely moderators for helping keep the peace. If there's anything I can do to make this space more inclusive for you or anyone next time, please let me know. May this live stream be an offering to the divinity within you. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma mritangamaya Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to the light, from death to deathlessness. Om. May there be peace in us. May there be peace in our environment. And may there be peace in the forces that act on us. Good night, dear Order. Goodbye, Riri. May you all have a wonderful rest of your present moment. Namaste.